Hey, it's Chris from Rekkid Talk. We're going to do 5 records in 5 minutes about the year 2014. OMG, 2014 was 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago. All right, well, let's first talk about the youngest group that I have a 2014 record of. It may or may not be this obscure punk band from Chicago called the Valentines with this 7-inch called Fun in the Sun. I think they had a cassette that came out in 2015, but that was about it. It's on pretty translucent blue vinyl, and I was thinking a obscure punk band that was around for a brief time in the mid 2010s. They might be pretty young. Maybe they were actually still teens then, because they were called the Valentines. A little bit of cursory Discogs research. Vincent Aguiar, who's one of the members of the group, had been a member of some other bands from either Chicago or Champaign, Illinois, since the early 2010s. Champaign, Illinois, where University of Illinois is. Maybe he was a student. If so, that would probably put him born early 1990s. But let me show you a record by somebody who's definitely older than Vincent Aguiar. It would be Neil Young. And so this is Neil Young's A Letter Home, done in the year 2014, basically recorded in the booth at Jack White's Third Man Records, and it's cover songs, and it's the worst album Neil Young ever did. Maybe I can sell it to Hometown's new record store, even though I probably bought it from the owner of the new record store when he worked at the old record store, and he knows it sucks, and he already knows he sold it to the one Huckleberry Town who would buy it, and I probably won't buy it again. So, speaking of Jack White, when we're talking about people from another band, so Jack White released an album in 2014 called Lazaretto. It was sort of this trick split colored vinyl. Parts of it play 33, parts of it play at 45 RPM. There's even a part that apparently under the label plays at 78 RPM, but of course I've never actually done that. So this, of course, was also released on Third Man Records. I actually do like this record. It may be my favorite Jack White solo record. And since this is from another band, so before Jack White went solo, he was in a band called the Raconteurs. But I think he really hit his stride and became much more famous once he went solo. So let's talk about a debut record. So this will be another obscure band called the Zetas from Austin, Texas. And so this was their first record. You can see sort of like early Queen records, they did not use synthesizers. And they chose to mention that. So it's on traditional black vinyl on the 12XU record label. One song's called The Silence and the other song's called The Knife. I think I saw some of their other stuff on Discogs, and I think they start every single one of their songs with the word the. Maybe they're younger than the Valentines. I don't know. I don't really have any information about them. I did see that their most recent, and I'm suspecting their last album was released in 2020, and their social media appears to be abandoned, so they're probably not around anymore. It was a mixed gender band, so you had both male and female vocals going on here. And finally, a career highlight. Well, in 2022, I made Tanya Tagaq's Tongues my favorite record of the year. But she had in 2016 the record Animism, which is probably her most well-known record in terms of critical acclaim. In her native Canada, she's from Nunavut, so she is an Inuk. Polaris Music Prize winner, won the Best Aboriginal Album in the Juno Awards, sort of like the Canadian Grammys. And so you've got sort of her version of traditional Inuk throat singing, and that first song called Caribou, that is a cover of the Pixies' Caribou. So there you go, some records from 10, almost 11 years ago.